Good morning, Ms. Chow and my fellow friends. The debate for the day is to see whether transparency should reduce market distortion and increase the efficiency of capital markets. The proposition team consists of Shyh Vern, Pui Kuan, and I, Joanna. Transparency promotes accountability and provides the shareholders a better informed information about what is going on in their company. A better informed constituency helps to create a better dialogue between shareholders and the company. Transparency is a time saver. My fellow friends, it has an existing method of being able to push information out, which means that the company could spend less time on public disclosure. My fellow friends, it's also a time saver in terms of public knowledge and decisions. With the public being aware of the existing policies and background to how and why decisions are made, staffs and the officials can spend less time on the history of issues and more time on what they should do next. Finally, transparency also helps to repurpose information. Thousands of reports, addendas, and minute meetings and other staffs and investors' information helps to give the staffs to create a better information. Being able to turn this information out to the public helps to reuse the information and create a rebrand information. Besides that, increased transparency leads to a more fulfilling and prosperous work environment. Open access to information creates trust and builds loyalty among the shareholders, employees, and the public at large. Thank you. That's all from me.
I see where Joanna is coming from. However, there are obvious cons to transparency as it is costly, time-consuming, and need to put in a lot of effort. As Joanna had mentioned earlier about it creates a better understanding for shareholders and the company since the information is being transparent in the annual report. But transparency creates awareness for the public to start demanding more information. Relating to disclosing the financial information is that full disclosure requires business to comply with generally accepted accounting principle, which is the GAAP. This significantly increases annual reporting requirements and add costs to gathering, auditing, and processing financial information. Companies had to spend more costs in giving employees training and educate them regarding on the principles and accounting standards to comply with. In supporting to that, Don Wayland, who is the audit analytics, reports that external audit costs are starting to increase. Also, it has been reported that full disclosure may be limited by the size of the business annual budget.
Cost isn't a significant factor when it comes to business transparency. I would like to deal with 2 points here. First is positive public perception. Some companies become transparent only after they have been involved in a scandal and have had to properly defend themselves or otherwise may explain their actions or behaviors. A transparent approach to business shows the public that the company has nothing to hide. This is especially effective when a transparent business operations include open and straightforward communication to the public. Being upfront rather than hiding or screaming corporate information, even if the information is unfavorable, demonstrates integrity. And then I would like to acknowledge staff involvement. Staff members who don't know what is going on in the company may speculate, participate in spreading gossip, or otherwise be unsure and anxious about the state of the company and the security of their jobs. Maintaining open and honest communication with staff and letting them in on the company's strategy plan and changing. These circumstances can help build staff loyalty. Employees are likely to have a higher degree of moral and job satisfaction when they feel like they are involved with the company and are trusted members of the inner circle rather than just workers.
So we have all understood from Pui Kuan that transparency leads to integration. However, in my opinion, deepening financial integration has come up at a price for many of these economies. It has increased their vulnerability to the ups and downs of international financial market. Besides that, John McNaughton has also stated that organizations that practice full transparency must be aware of being open to attack, vulnerable to those groups that feel underrepresented or alienated. And he also stated that it is difficult to learn to balance transparency with keeping some information private, such as competitive trade secrets or other unique information. Lastly, Jackie Laurie also mentioned that disclosing business and financial information can put the business at a significant competitive disadvantage. Although a business can alter the type of information and level of detail and use information timing to mitigate potentially damaging effects, the question, ladies and gentlemen, is whether the information release will have the intended effect. Thank you.
From my point of view, according to FAO 2014, improved market transparency is necessary to reduce market distortion because it will cause an insufficient allocation of resources and also for risk management. And the benefits of more transparent reporting seem obvious, like a company with a high degree of disclosure would have a better market discipline, which in turn would improve the resource allocations in the economy. Like for example, improving transparencies of European capital markets would make European a more attractive investment and promotion across the EU and for foreign investment. This will create opportunities for direct investment and ease the frictional cost of investment.
Shyh Vern, at the end of this, the question boils down to is the necessity of risk reporting. I can see your point on how it leads to a better stewardship of company and efficient allocation of resource. But according to ACC4284 2001, risk reporting has proven to be less useful and effective to investors as it gives rise to unrealistic expectation of a well-prepared risk reporting could prevent a corporate failure. But in a competitive economy, corporate failure is unpreventable and it will be unrealistic to rely on a risk reporting to provide a reliable early warning of a corporate failure, still less to prevent it. Also, Hern-Luo and Debon 2002 has mentioned that investors has limited attention and ability to process vast amount of information. Therefore, disclosure that has equivalent information and are presented in different format will have different effects on investors, thus affecting the decision making of investors. As investors in this will make better evaluation on firms that disclose their risk reporting as in a simpler and comprehensive format, whereas a company discloses risk reporting as sensitivity analysis or risk at risk, value at risk. Sorry. To conclude our discussion, debate, I would like to highlight our points. The points that we have mentioned in this debate are transparency being time saver, cost incur and time cost incur, attractive investors, unrealistic expectation, competitive disadvantage, staff involvement, and perfect public perception. Thank you. Is there any question from the floor?
Why transparent is important?
Because it's like building a trust between the company and the shares, and then shareholders, and then it would be no one likes a company that's not trustworthy, right? And then investors would pay premium price for a company that adopts transparency. Is there any more questions?
Okay.
Right. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you. Is transparency, all right, all about risk reporting? So does it mean that if you only do risk reporting, it's called transparency?
In my opinion, transparency is not just all about risk reporting because other than the risk that there is in a company should also disclose about all the advantages of the companies to attract investors. So being transparent in that term can also be a good thing. It's not just all about the risk that they should disclose.
Okay.
Like for example, the things that they do to make the company more efficient and things like that.
So that is also considered as being
Transparent because you are disclosing information about.